Hello, Beez Bladers! Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. You know I am because we're looking at some Kaisers. All of these have already come out of the box. Some of these boxes aren't even for knives in this video. I just grabbed a stack of Kaiser boxes because I've already taken them out. And I know sometimes you don't want to see all of them come out of the package and all the unboxings. If you want to see Kaiser unboxings, I have many of them because this is one of my favorite knife brands. But we're going to get into these new models and these new configurations. We're going to zip through them really quick, and all that's going to start right now. We're going to start out with this bad boy right here. It was designed by Alec Berkowitz, and this is the Kaiser MERCURY. Would you look at it? Just look at it and all of its mercuryness. Actually, it's more gold than the color of a mercury, but this is it is a gent's knife and a half, and look at that. How's that for some Mr. Fancy Pants? It's a clamshell, baby. Check that out. The second clamshell knife in a week here on Beez Blades. How about them apples? And if you want to see all the knives that I've had on the channel recently, there's links in the description and in the comment section where you can go and check out knives, gear, sharpening supplies, promo codes, discount codes, all that kind of stuff. You know, I got to tell you, because if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know, right? And by the way, subscribing is free. That just tells YouTube you want to see some more knife content. But here's a look at this awesome milled titanium. Would you look at that? Oh, it feels so good. A little bit of texture vision for you. Oh yeah, it feels really good. You ready to see this blade? Pow! Right in the kisser. Ooh, mama, is that not slender? It's the Slender Man knife. Very nice. This bad boy is 7.34 inches long. It has a 3.1 inch sharpen length. It's 118 thousandths of an inch for your blade stock. It's 20 thousandths of an inch behind the edge. You don't have a lot of room to get from here to here, so it's not going to be the thinnest behind the edge. I would call it a robust behind the edge. Very nice looking tip, very strong tip, but this is more of a gent's carry. It does have a giant choil, so sharpening's never going to be an issue with that. This is a liner lock. It does have good lineup. It has a good lockup, and you saw before that it is centered. And you know what? This is very flashy. I'm digging this. When you're wanting to feel like a Mr. Fancy Pants, look at this. It is, wow. And for such a light blade, it is very smooth. And we do have some good jimps going on up here. Very good. Very nice. Mr. Kaiser, Mrs. Kaiser, all you Kaisers, you're doing a good job. Getting a little better with that jimping, making sure that jimping grabs the fingers on both sides. That I'm very grateful for. So the action on this is very smooth. It's very smoothie and flippable. I'm enjoying it. I like it. I don't have a whole lot of complaints about it. It's only about a ½ an inch high and a ½ an inch thick, and this bad boy only weighs 2.1 ounces. What you see is what you get. It's a slender gent's carry. Now, I wouldn't consider that you would be thinking all too much when it comes to the ergonomics, because the ergos on this knife, they're good. You're not going to be using this for anything heavy or any hardcore cutting. This is going to be a light cutting knife, package opener, just an everyday carry. Kind of has the look of a razor going on. It's definitely not a razor, but it has a unique appeal. I think all of you knife collectors out there, if you're a knife collector like me, that you might be digging, and I mean totally digging that milling. Oh, and that pocket clip, that looks like some 24 karat gold, baby. But I am liking this thing. And let's see, does it so? Yeah, look at this. S35VN. So it has premium blade steel, premium handles, clamshell design. I am loving it. So let's go ahead and check out the next one. Now, this one is a new configuration. It is not this one. It is not this one. And it's not this one, and it's also not this one. These are all Kaiser Torso Ks, one of my absolute favorite and one of my most carried Torso Ks, Kaiser knives. But look what we have now. Look at this. It's an absolutely clear Ultim Scales Kaiser Torso K. And by the way, the Torso K has multi-row bearings. And if you haven't seen one of these knives, I have many videos out, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, 5, 6, probably 7 different videos about the Torso K. I'm not going to go into heavy detail. You can always search Beez Blades channel if you want to know the details, or probably see several unboxings and also a disassembly. But look at this. If you want to know what it looks like inside the Torso K, like This one right here, like, I wonder what it looks like. That is exactly what it looks like. It has a reversible 2-station clip, which is awesome. You can carry deep carry or a little bit deeper carry if you want to, which I think is amazing. But this, you know, I have a couple knives with the Ultim scales now. This is very nice. I like the other ones that have the milling, but this is just very cool to look at how they got it so clear. Now, I do wonder if this would be very scratch resistant. I do note that this stuff is heat resistant, and you can see that it's milled on the inside, which I found a little different rather than being milled on the outside. But this is one of the smoothest knives you will ever have in your hands. It is drop shutty. And matter of fact, I gave one of these to my father-in-law for Christmas. He really likes it. He's not a big flipper or anything like that of knives, and he liked the action of it. And you can choke up and really do some great cutting. It has a nice tall, flat grind. 154 cm blade steel. This knife is an absolute winner. You can reverse flick it. You can front flick it. I mean, it is just so good. The action. This one is just dialed in so freaking absolutely fantastically. You can't go wrong. If you don't have a TOSWER K, or if you don't like the Ultim scales, there's a bunch of different options. You could go fancy, and you can get the fancy, which one's this? This is the LMAX steel, baby. You could go fancy with them, but the Ultim is the in thing. This is what everyone is raving about. Now, I will say there's a lot of folks that don't care for the Ultim scales. I'm on the fence about it. I like it because it's new and because it's tough. It's supposed to be tougher than G10. It's not my preference, but I have to say that this is very cool to look at. So there's your new TOSWER K. I'll have links to all these, and let me go ahead and get you the next one. Now, this is almost like deja vu. We're not going to show you this one. Well, I probably will. I'm not going to show you this one, and not going to show you this one or this one. We have the new Kaiser Sheep Dog button lock, baby. Now look, you could get the original like this with the thumb hole. You can also get it with different scale materials, just like this one, just like you can get in the TOSWER K. So you can get a liner lock. You can get, oh yeah, this one here, one of my new faves. I have a lot of favorites, by the way, just saying, but this is the crossbar lock. So you can get a crossbar lock, a liner lock. You can get them with big flipper tabs. And then if you want to go Mr. Fancy Pants, you can go and get the frame lock. But now the newest configuration of the Kaiser Sheep Dog, one of the best sheepdogs, one of the best Kaisers there are, now comes in button lock. And it works very well. It has good blade retention. I like it. I don't have any complaints about it. You know how I feel about the Kaiser Sheep Dog. It's just such a fantastic knife. It doesn't have real thick blade stock, and it has that tall, flat grind. It is very slicey. It is a fantastic knife. It has good ergos. It's such a freaking good knife. And look at this. They nailed the jimping on it. It has the micro jimping that grabs your skin and stops you. Oh, it is such a fantastic knife. Push cuts, pull cuts, utility cuts. This is so good. And I'm not spending a lot of time on it because I've probably done 10 videos on the Kaiser Sheep Dog, but now you know we have a new version, and it is a button lock. Here's a look at your button. It's just a little bit, just barely sticking up past the scales, and it's very tactile, and I don't get the blade bounce out. It's probably helped out because it has a little bit of that stone wash, which slows the blade down and comes down, and it stays in. It doesn't bounce out. So that makes it a good one. You can use the actual thumb hole for thumb flicking, and the reverse flick is just dreamy on this bad boy. Now, wait till you see the next one. This is a more budget-oriented fixed blade from Kaiser. This is the Kaiser MAGARA. Would you look at that? Just look at it. I know there's a lot of fixed blade lovers out there. This big boy, this beast of a knife is 9.74 inches overall. It has a 4.76 inch sharpen length. It's 159 thousandths of an inch back here at the spine. It is a full tang, and look at this. Very good jimping. They did a good job on the jimping. This bad boy with the sheath weighs 9.2 ounces. The knife itself weighs 6.5, so not too bad. It came very sharp, has a nice edge on it, and just taking you all the way down for a quick little tour. Now, I will mention right out of the box that these edges right here, I was a little surprised by this. Usually when I have a fixed blade, the edges are very contoured and they're very comfortable. These are a little different. different. On the these right here are 90 degrees. These edges, can I say these anymore? These edges right here are 90 degrees and very abrupt. They're surprisingly abrupt. So the ergos are good, but I wouldn't say that they're great, because when I'm gripping this knife, this part right here and this part right here and this part are very, very well pronounced. I would say these could stand a good rounding off or a good chamfering to make this handle comfortable. Now, my hand is 4 inches from here to here, 3.5 from here to here, and from the bottom of my palm to the tip of my middle finger, it's 7.25. Now, if you have extra large hands, I don't know, you may have an issue with it, because it is forcing my fingers to kind of squish in between this point right here and then this point right here. Now, you can choke up a little bit up in this area, which that makes it very comfortable for me to do some cutting. But this is a tough knife. Now, something to note about the Kydex sheath, it does have good retention. It does hold the blade in very well. I wish right here on the back they would have made a flat area for a ramp to push off. You are pushing right off the edges of the Kydex, which isn't the worst in the world, but it's also not the most comfortable. I'm kind of like just pushing right on that edge to get the blade out. And then on the back here, you can see where it's adjustable. And it's not the toughest pocket clip in the world. Just giving you a little look here, it is flexible, so when you sit down, it does have some bend, and you don't have to take your belt off to put it on whatever you got to put it on, whether it's your backpack or your belt. So you can take that into consideration, and you're going to be able to mount this in several different variations and ways. Now, you could also take this belt clip off and, you know, attach it to a backpack, or if you really want a big neck, that could be a big neck knife. But overall, for a more budget-oriented, large fixed blade with that logo on it, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Just knowing that you have another Kaiser and it's a fixed blade and it's nice and it does come very sharp. And I don't remember what the price range is, but I'll have it linked down in the description. Now, since we have a big fixed blade, look at this one. And we're going to do some deja vu one more time. It is not this version. This is the variable Wharncliffe, a little neck knife, a little necker. Now they have a new one, and it is this one right here. It's very simple. What you see is what you get. It's called the variable Wharncliffe. This one has the coated blade and a little bit of carbon fiber. Nothing like some carbon fibre, some 154 cm blade steel, and I'll put these next to each other so you can get a look at both versions in case you didn't see when I showed this one. You know, for opening packages and just everyday stuff, this is actually, you know, I mean, if you're a minimalist and you just want to always have a blade on you, you can have one of these on you. They are pretty cool just for a minimalist design. It weighs almost absolutely nothing. It comes in at, with the sheath, it weighs 2.6 ounces. So it's very lightweight. You can't even tell you have it around your neck. It's only 4.79 inches long. It's a full tang of that 154 cm, and that's what it looks like next to the big Kaiser MAGARA. So we have a couple new very cool models and then some more renditions or more variants or more configurations of knives that have already been out by Kaiser, and they just did a little something different. And I love it when they do a little something different, because if you're like me and you're a knife enthusiast and a knife collector, and you know, if you like a particular one, like say you're a sheepdog fan, well, they did it to you again. They found a different way. They found another way to get in your pocket, make you get another one. And you know, even though I'm not the biggest Ultim fan, I have to say this crystal clear Ultim is pretty cool. So tell me what you think about them. What do you think of this group, this fantastic 5 that just dropped from Kaiser? Tell me all about it in the comments. And go watch this video. You're really going to enjoy that. And until I see you again in the live streams or the chats, or after you've just smashed that like button, remember, live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.